All right, everybody, welcome in. We are diving deep today into the, the core, the foundation. I don't know what's a good word.
Well, I mean, you said it, foundation.
The factors of production of any business, of any economy.
Exactly.
And we've got some really interesting source material today breaking down, these resources.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. You think of Econ 101, right? Like, oh, we know all this stuff.
Yeah.
But then you actually start peeling back the layers and you're like, oh, wow. Like, there's a lot to this.
There's a lot to this.
Yeah.
And we're going to be looking at some really interesting examples of how these factors are used by companies we know. Ford, Google, even Nespresso.
Yeah. Big names doing big things and all relying on these fundamental building blocks.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting to see how those building blocks impact the final product.
Right. And then how those products impact us as consumers. It's a whole interconnected system,
Yeah, for sure. So let's jump into it. First up, we've got capital resources. And I think about this as like the tools, the machinery, like the hard stuff.
The hardware, yeah. The stuff that really makes things happen on a large scale.
Right. So give us an example here.
Sure. Think about Ford, right? One of the biggest car manufacturers in the world. They use robotic arms on their assembly line.
Oh, yeah. I've seen videos of that. It's amazing.
It's incredible, right? Those robots can weld, paint, install parts, all with incredible precision and speed. That's capital resources in action. It's about boosting productivity and efficiency.
Yeah, and I imagine that helps them produce cars at a scale that, like you said, humans just couldn't keep up with.
Exactly. But, it's not all rosy. We have to consider the trade-offs. Automation like that, while it increases output, it also raises questions about job displacement.
Oh, for sure. Like what happens to the workers who were doing those jobs before the robots came in?
Right. It's a complex issue with social and economic implications. Policymakers and businesses need to find ways to adapt and ensure those workers aren't left behind.
That's a whole other deep dive. We should do that one, actually. But for today, let's move on to the human element.
Okay, yeah.
Labor resources.
Absolutely.
This is, the skills, the effort, the knowledge that people bring to the table.
It's all about the people.
Yeah, the people, the heart of any business, really.
Absolutely. And this is where we see companies like Google really shine. They invest heavily in their employees.
Training, development, all that.
Yeah, all of that. They offer all sorts of programs to help their employees learn new skills, stay ahead of the curve, and really reach their full potential. And it's not just about being nice. It's a smart business move.
So it's like an investment in their workforce becomes a competitive advantage.
Exactly. It's a way to attract and retain top talent. When you have a highly skilled and motivated workforce, you get more innovation, you create better products, and ultimately, you make more money.
It makes sense.
It's a win-win for everyone involved.
It really is. It makes me think about, like, what are my strengths? What are my skills? What do I bring to the workplace? Okay, we've got to move on, though. Last but certainly not least, natural resources.
Yes, the bedrock.
The stuff we get from our planet, the essentials.
Yeah, and this is where things get really interesting, really tricky.
Complicated.
Yeah, there's this constant tension between using the resources we need and protecting the environment. Like, take Nespresso, for example. They've made a commitment to sourcing their coffee beans from sustainable farms.
Which is awesome. I mean, that's a really positive step.
It is, but it's not a simple choice. Ethical sourcing often comes with higher costs, and logistical challenges. So companies like Nespresso have to balance those factors with their need to make a profit.
That makes sense. I mean, they are a business after all.
Right. But they're showing that it's possible to be both profitable and responsible.
Yeah. And I think consumers are becoming more aware of these issues. They want to support companies that are making an effort.
Absolutely. And those choices that we make as consumers, they send a powerful message to the market.
So just to recap, we've got capital resources, all that machinery and technology, labor resources, the skills and ingenuity of people, and natural resources, the things we get from our planet. And all of these factors are interconnected. They all play a role in creating the products we use every day.
They do.
And it makes you think,
What's that?
As technology keeps advancing, as the demand for resources increases, how are we going to adapt?
That's the million-dollar question. How do we use these factors in a way that ensures a sustainable future for everyone?
That's something I'm going to be thinking about.
It's a big one.
It is a big one. Well, folks, that's our deep dive for today.
Hope you enjoyed the journey.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.